Little sheriff's here.
Yeah. Future.
Who's doing the pledge? You got some money? That's,
Ask and you shall be healed.
Kim's gonna lead in song. Kim's our song leader.
Yeah, right.
everybody grab your hymnals, page 32.
We're going to call to order the council meeting for December.
Let the minutes reflect Buddy the Elf is present with his Coca-Cola.
Okay.
I know him.
Going to lead us in the pledge, and Vicki will then lead us in prayer. If you'll all stand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United
States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Dear Heavenly Father, we just continue to give you thanks for all the blessings that you bestow upon us. We ask that you say a special blessing to us as we oversee this meeting. Let our work be productive and pleasing to those that we serve. Dear Lord, we just recognize this season about your birth of the Savior, and we just pray that all the festivities not overlook the true reason for this season. We just pray that you be with those who protect us in public safety. We ask that you lay a healing hand upon those who need you, and we ask those with mental health crises that they be overcome. In all these things we pray in your precious name. Amen.
Amen. We do not have minutes for the November meeting tonight, so we'll have those at our next meeting. I want to let the record show that all council members are in attendance this evening. And we will, looks like treasurer's report, but is that on? All right.
Vicki Kivett makes a motion that we accept the treasurer's report as presented.
Thank you, Vicki. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Melissa Green will second.
Melissa? We have a motion by Vicki Kivett, seconded by Melissa Green. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Before we move on, we do have something to celebrate this evening. Councilman Chip Keller's birthday is today. We want to wish Chip a happy birthday.
29.
I think I was pushing it at the 49, wasn't I, when I said, are you 49 again? So,
Should I tell him I used to babysit you, or is this that time?
Got already did.
okay.
She lives up on Blue Bluff Road, if you want to visit Kim.
Thank you for the kind words.
We wish you many more.
Yep, that's right. Happy birthday. Okay, we'll move into additional appropriations. The commissioners are up first, it looks like, for additional appropriation. Is Josh going to present that? Great.
Good evening, council. So this is for the juvenile detention, and we never know what it's going to actually be. As you see in your letter, we had a big bill that came in February from the previous year. And so even though we give it our best guess, sometimes things happen and we have to send more juveniles to Johnson County than anticipated.
So what was that?
I don't know.
You don't recall?
I don't know the details of most of them.
Okay, I was just curious.
Ended up $43,560 short. So this additional will get you through to the end of the year, then I assume there'll be nothing else.
Or hope,
correct?
I mean, I
Has to
guess
be.
if something crazy happens.
This is it.
Keep your juveniles at home, parents.
Anyone have any questions on that?
We're doing them one by one.
I did, but he didn't know the answer. Sorry, Josh.
Doesn't know.
How does the budget look for next year? Good? Like, based on what you know, what we've spent this year so far?
So far, you guys have a new format budgetary that'll be the first time you've seen it in front of you guys tonight. Did this just cut out? Okay. We asked Reedy to give us a kind of financial statement. One one of the things that you all mentioned a few times were it'd be nice to see start, cash in, cash
Yeah.
out balance. So they've put together, I think, a pretty coalesced report for the major funds. If this is something you like, just like the treasurer's report, we can start putting it before you each month. They're going to do this month for us. But yeah, I think, comparing the one they gave me for January, which was the very first time they did, or versus this month, I mean, we're trending in the right direction. As we get closer to the end of budget, we're not spending down all the money.
I love having a monthly snapshot.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Very helpful. Do we
Okay.
want to take these one at a time? We have one, 65,940. And then is there, there's work release for 72,000, or no, $7,010,
$10.
yeah. For a total of 72. Oh, that's the
That one's
sheriff.
for
I'm
sheriff,
sorry,
yeah.
I apologize. Yes. No, we're not going to do that. All right, so we're looking at the commissioner's additional for 65,940.
Vicky Kivett makes a motion that we approve from general fund $65,940 for juvenile detention.
Thank you, Vicki. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Jason Maxwell seconds.
Thank you, Jason. So we have a motion by Vicki Kivett, seconded by Jason Maxwell. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Same sign. Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you.
Thank you, Josh. Now, Mr. Rogers, we'll let you come up. I was trying to bundle it all.
I'm much shorter than Josh, if anyone didn't notice. We're here tonight. Basically, what happened is last year at budget time, Valita was still in the work release administrator spot, and we did not know she was leaving yet. She hadn't gave any kind of notices at that time when we was doing budgeting. And then she left. The person who got promoted within that position in January is in a higher tier on the matrix than what she was, had been with the department longer, because, not the department as a whole, because she'd been with us very long, but in the jail division where the matrix falls. So that person's account is $7,010 short because they make a little bit more money in that position than what she did. So that's what we're asking for tonight, so we can finish paying the work release administrator for the rest of the year.
And was that addressed on the 2024 budget?
It was, yeah, and we would have addressed it had we known, and I don't know that she knew that she was leaving exactly then, so just
We get it.
timing
It
was
happens.
bad.
Did anyone have questions on that, or?
Chip Keller will make a motion to approve that additional appropriation of $7,010 for the work release.
Thank you, Chip.
Troy Sprinkle, second.
Troy. So Chip Keller makes the motion, Troy Sprinkle seconds. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you, council.
That's you, that's right. Okay.
The county elected officials training fund, I think that's a fee that actually comes from some of the recorder's fees that goes into that fund. But the state opened that up so we could use it for council members. So this year, we've had new office holders, such as myself, taking advantage of more trainings. But we were able to use it to pay for the council trainings instead of using your general fund budget.
Okay.
So we did run a little short, so we were asking to appropriate $5,000.
Anyone have questions on that?
To be used by the end of the year? Just,
I think we're running in the red right now.
Okay.
Because we used it for AIC, for all the council.
There were several that attended the
Yeah.
conference. Yeah. Any questions, comments? Hearing none, I look for a motion.
Brian Culp will make that motion.
Melissa Green will second.
We have a motion by Brian Culp for the additional appropriation of $5,000 to the county elected officials training, and Melissa Green seconded. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 7-0. Thank you, Linda. All right, and then we have dispatch, Scott. Oh, there he comes.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
I have two requests. One's, I've been working with Joyce in the auditor's office, worked with her for about 2 hours, trying to straighten some things out. We were underfunded in, the second request is because I'm underfunded. But she discovered during this that we were running about $15,000 shy in the group insurance in the 1235 fund, so need to get that taken care of so we can make sure that all the insurance is provided.
And has that been addressed for the 2024 budget? Was it
Yes,
found
I believe
by the-
so. I haven't seen the 2024, but I mean, they do all the calculations for group insurance. We don't. I don't do any of those, so I'm hoping that that's been resolved. I'm sure it probably has, but time will tell, I guess.
We might check on that to make sure that's been resolved, to address it for, so we don't come up short in the end of the year next year.
And if you wanted me to address the second one, I can do that.
Let's do one at a time. We'll do
Okay,
this
that'll
one
be fine.
first.
Had you done any transfers out of that fund?
We have transferred as much as we can transfer internally, and Linda said that, or Joyce, I'm not Linda, Joyce said that that's basically where we were at.
But you hadn't done any transfers out of group insurance to another fund over the year?
No.
Okay.
I don't believe so. I don't recall
I don't
doing any
recall.
transfers. I don't do a lot of internal transfers. This year, we've done a lot, just because of the circumstances with some of the budgets.
Shortfall.
So I'll add real quickly, we'll double check with Reedy that it was done right. But I think the confusion for this, and we've had a few other line items, is when we switched everything from the two different PSAPs funds into the dedicated PSAP fund last year, with all that moving, some things got dropped, and that's, I think this is one of those areas.
Okay, that makes sense.
You're doing one at a time.
Yes.
Vicky Kivett makes a motion that we approve $15,000 dispatch LIT dedicated group insurance.
Yeah.
Chip Keller will second.
Thank you, Chip. We have a motion by Vicky Kivett, seconded by Chip Keller. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Same sign. Motion carries 7-0 on that one.
Okay, and the second request is $35,000 in 1222, which is statewide 911 for dispatchers, and $5,000 for perf. And what has occurred there is, like Josh explained, we were spending down that we had a 4915 fund. That was what the city had paid in for
Yes.
dispatch services. Well, there was money left over, so we were basically burning that to the end. And we have burned it to the end. And now we're gonna have to transfer some dispatch personnel into 1222 just to finish the year. So we were just underfunded in 4915 because there was no funds left to expend. And so we've got them shuffled them over to 1222 so we can finish out the year.
And this will finish you out, okay, then.
Yeah.
Can you remind me all the funds that you operate out of?
This year, or now, currently, we're running out of 4915, 1222, 4914, 1235. I'm sorry. 4915 was the PSAP operating, or PSAP personnel, I'm sorry.
Okay.
PSAP operating is 4914. 1235 is lit, dedicated to PSAP. 1222 statewide 911, and then we get some CUMCAP money in 1138.
Okay, thank you.
But next year, it's going to be a little bit more consolidated. So we're going to be, basically, everything's going to be in 1235, lit dedicated to PSAP, or 1222 statewide 911, and a little bit of 1138 funds, but it will be much simpler here on out.
Okay, so we have the request for 40,000 total from statewide 911 fund to dispatchers and perf. Were there any further questions on that one?
Chip Keller will make a motion to approve that additional appropriation of $40,000.
Thank you, Chip.
Melissa Green will second that.
Have a motion by Chip Keller, seconded by Melissa Green. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 7-0. Thanks, Scott.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Scott.
Folks, have a wonderful evening and have a Merry Christmas.
Thanks. Okay, and we'll move on to transfers, I believe. And,
See weights and measures.
yeah, Scott Manley has a transfer. He did contact me earlier in the week, and he works a second job, so he couldn't be here this evening, and he wanted to know if that was okay. And I explained to him that if it's an additional, we do require attendance, but with a transfer, we're a little more lenient. I hope everyone's okay with that. So he had a transfer from vehicle lease rental to equipment in the amount of $500, and it's to purchase a new 30-pound scale for, is that tar weight checking, and making sure the seller is only charging for the product and not the packaging. Things you don't think about. Did anyone have questions on that? I think it's pretty straightforward.
Vicki Kivett makes a motion that we allow this transfer of $500 as outlined on the agenda.
Thank you, Vicki.
Jason Maxwell seconds.
Jason, we have a motion by Vicki Kivett, seconded by Jason Maxwell. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 7-0. That one's done.
Oh, you even gave us a,
Oh, yeah, he even gave us the invoice showing it, so that's good. He said it was prepared. All right, we've got the 2023 salary ordinance amendment, clerk record perpetuation fund. Linda, you going to tell us about that?
Sure. In creating the 2024 salary ordinance, the girls discovered earlier this fall, Tammy came to you and asked for an appropriation in the clerk's perpetuation fund so that she could pay the girls to do the scanning, but we failed to do the salary ordinance amendment to pay them out of that.
Okay.
So this is just cleaning up.
Cleanup, okay. And I think everyone has a copy of that with the numbers. Did it?
need a motion.
On that, don't we?
We do need a motion to.
Sprinkle make the motion to approve the salary ordinance amendment for the clerk record perpetual fund.
Thank you, Troy. We have a motion by Troy Sprinkle,
Couple second.
second by Brian Culp. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 7-0. Thank you. And then I think the Job Maintenance Committee met this evening to go over some adjustments on the Human Resources and EMA Director salaries for 2024. Is that correct?
Yes.
One of you want to give us a little report on that? Oh, Josh is going to help us out.
All right, hello again. So I guess I'll give some background on this. You know, we've been in a lot of, I won't say turmoil, just a lot of development. We implemented this process of job descriptions a number of years ago. We've been in a lot of flux through a couple budget cycles, and a big reason for that is we didn't always know what we were putting in the job descriptions and fully capturing people's jobs, especially with newly created positions, which HR was one of those. And so we've realized over time that the scope of that job was much more broad than we had anticipated when the position was created. And so at the time, I actually asked our HR director to go ahead and have her position reevaluated, and we just now got that back this last week. And so they did reclassify, or went through the reclassification process and told us, yes, we're comfortable with the category it's in, but it needs to be paid to the high end of that scale. We have 2 positions already that are come in around $85,000 to $90,000 that are in that same tier. We had WIS do our numbers from 2020. They were for 2023, but we had them done in 2022. So if you remember, we're going to start trying to do this every other year to kind of gauge the market. If we were to apply the same 5% increase to the numbers that they provided us for this upcoming year, it would move the salary for the HR director from $71,799, which is what we have it in the salary ordinance today, to $85,845, which is almost on parity with another department in that category. And so, from all of our experience in going through this process, I think the recommendation from WIS is, yes, we need to move that way. I think we are, from our side, the Commissioner Department and myself, we're very pleased and think that this position warrants this. I mean, this position has become what I call our lead mediator with different office holders and employees. Manages our OSHA process, has become our Title IV coordinator, our ADA coordinator, things that we just didn't envision when we started, and we probably should have reclassified this sooner. So that's the first position that we're here for. The second position is the EMA director, and we don't have a letter for this one because if we act on HR, which I encourage us to do, we would leave one position behind that hasn't been moved with the category. And the whole reason we started this process was to make sure we're not leaving people out and opening ourselves up. And so we think if we move this one, that whole category needs to be in the same area, which would be the one remaining position. So I'm happy to answer questions, happy to entertain anything.
No, I thank you, Josh. I think it was kind of late in our meeting in the budget session, but I think all of us were in agreement that our HR director does a lot more than what some positions in other counties, other cities do. And so I think we get a lot for that salary. And I think it's warranted to take that to the higher end of that. And I mean, but this is open for discussion before we move forward. But I sure appreciate all that she does.
I agree.
Any comments or questions or anything, any questions of Josh before we?
So the Job Maintenance Committee recommends or discuss this, and this is their recommendation.
Yeah. Well, yes, I mean, I'll say personally, but the Job Maintenance Committee is focused on form and process, not substance. That's you all. And so we agree that the process was met. Now it's substantively up to you all. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And it did go back through to
It went
WIS.
through
and
WIS.
So
And it
it
came
was,
back to us,
yeah,
and it was approved tonight.
so is the Job Maintenance Committee on board for those changes too then?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
So we're asked to make that adjustment of the salary for going forward for 2024 to $85,845 for Human Resources and EMA Director.
Is that already reflected on the salary ordinance page?
It is not. It needed to be amended.
Yeah. So if there's no other questions on it or comments, I just look for a motion to make that adjustment on the 2024 salary ordinance.
Melissa Green will make the motion to adjust for the WIS study recommendation and for the human resources position and the EMA director salaries to increase them as stated.
Thank you, Melissa. We have a motion by Melissa Green. Kim Meredith will second that motion. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. And then we're going to move to the 2024 salary ordinance adoption. Linda is going to make those changes that we've just made this evening, and then what we'll pass down is just the signature for the revised 2024 salary ordinance. But we'll need to adopt the 2024 salary ordinance, so I look for a motion to adopt the 2024 salary ordinance.
I'll make the motion to accept the 2024 salary ordinance adoption
Troy Sprinkle,
With the
second.
presented changes.
with presented changes.
Thank you, Jason. So we have a motion by Jason, and I'm sorry, who seconded that? Troy?
Troy.
Troy Sprinkle seconded. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 7-0. And then, was there anything else that the job committee needed to address this evening, other than those things? Okay.
Good evening. We have, the Job Maintenance Committee met tonight as stated, and we had 3 different things to look at. The first one was the HR director job description, and I believe you all have a memo, I hope, that told you what the changes were. The second one was the part-time assistant, which was decided on at budget time. And then the third one is a jail lieutenant. There are 2 of them in that position. When this position, the jail lieutenant, was first given to WIS, it came back non-exempt. But at that time, the pay was too close to the ones that they supervised. So they asked for them to be made non-exempt. So after going back with WIS, they were able to do that, and now with the new matrix that has been approved, they are wanting to make those positions exempt. And this was at the request of the jail commander and the sheriff.
Okay. I was going to, yeah, I was going to say, so we're, all right.
Yes.
Okay, so we want to vote on these just one by one, or?
That's up to you guys.
Okay, so let's look at the jail lieutenant position first, then. So the papers we have here, help me out again. So it's currently exempt?
It's currently non-exempt.
Going back to exempt.
So no overtime, okay, got it.
What it should be.
Okay. And that's the only portion of it we're to vote on, is going
Correct.
from?
The job description itself did not change. It
Okay.
was just the classification.
Okay. So let's go ahead and vote on that one, if you're all, if there's no further questions on it, is to go to an exempt status.
Vicky Kivett will make that motion.
We have a motion by Vicky Kivett to approve the exempt status for the jail lieutenant,
Brian Koppel, second.
seconded by Brian Culp. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 7-0 on the jail lieutenant position. Next up is
We
the,
have the HR director position.
who's that? What were the changes on that one? Just summary.
There are several listed in the second paragraph. Assisting with the budget process, supervising and directing assigned staff, overseeing the drug testing policy, OSHA logs. I don't know if you want me to read the whole thing,
No,
Kim.
you don't have to. It could go on and on.
Yeah, there's probably even more.
WIS evaluated it
And approved it.
and approved it.
And then we approved
Voted
it.
on the changes, so it's just a motion to,
Formality.
yep, accept the changes to the human resources assistant position.
Troy Sprinkle make the motion for
That's the
the
director
changes
position.
Director.
It's a dir- I-
for the
I said-
director.
For the director, yes, I apologize.
Motion by Troy Sprinkle.
Melissa Green will second.
Seconded.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 7-0. All right, I had my papers backwards there.
That's
so-
okay. Then we had the HR assistant position, which I wrote down, I started with what I thought it would be, and then I asked several counties around here, around that have, and kind of came up with the job description after that.
And that one is assisting the director, assist department heads and elected officials, assist employees. Again, the list goes on, but there's various duties.
Rated 25 hours a week, no benefits.
Yes, part-time, non-exempt. So, we had all discussed that at budget time. Were there any additional questions, though?
No.
I'm looking at job requirements.
She'll start advertising now that there's a job description in place.
Probably tomorrow.
for you. Yeah.
I am excited about that.
Good. So we look for a motion to approve the HR Director Department Assistant position with the job duties listed as presented.
Brian Culp will make that motion.
Vicki Kivett will second.
We have a motion by Brian Culp, seconded by Vicki Kivett. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Same sign. Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. And then 2024 council appointments, I know you kind of touched on this at the last meeting, but I think we were not quite sure on everyone. But the one I wanted to bring up this evening, as there's a council appointment by the, for the council for the Regional Sewer Board, and that has been Kelly Acala. And Kelly has given her resignation. She's already stepped down from that position. I think she's going to take on more of a administrative role for the sewer board. But we needed to, they have had an issue of having a quorum, enough people to have a quorum at their meeting. So rather than waiting, we went ahead and looked for someone, but he won't take the position until January 1st. But most of you may know Dwayne Metcalf, and Dwayne is interested in filling that position if we're all in favor of that. So that would be one that would change, and we can vote on these all together if you want. But the other positions we had that were coming up for reappointment or appointment was Gordon Crone for the Board of Zoning Appeals, and I think Gordon has agreed he wants to continue.
He's willing to serve, continue to serve.
Good. And then Patty Dow is on the,
Beverage Commission Board, and she's proud to serve again.
and then Jason Maxwell, you have been serving in the, get my notes here. Tell me which one you're on, Jason.
Commission. Board of Zoning Appeals.
Planning Commission for the council.
And you wanted to continue on that, correct? And then Sharon Tyree, she's a local realtor, and she has been serving for the Tax Appeals Board, and she wants to continue. Huh? She's not up? I was giving her name.
On the Tax Board of Appeals.
Oh, okay. Never mind, Jason, you're not up yet.
Well, I didn't
But
think I
Sharon
was.
Tyree
That's the
is.
reason I was kind of surprised when you said something.
We'll just scratch you.
And,
Sharon Tyree is up though.
yes, and she does want to continue, so she will continue in that capacity if we're all in favor of that. And then the redevelopment commission, is that one? Yeah. Troy and I have served on that, and it was up, and I think we would both like to continue to serve.
Yes, ma'am.
So we can vote on these all together if you like. I don't know if anyone had anyone else that was interested in the, oh, I'm sorry, Kelly wanted to continue on that one. Yes, Economic Development Corporation, Kelly Acala was serving on that one, and she wants to continue with that one. So if there's no other, anything else I need to go over? That's it, I think, wasn't it? Okay. So if there's no other names that want to be thrown in, then we can vote on that all together. So the 2024 council appointments as presented.
I'll make a motion to approve those as presented.
Thank you, Chip. We have a motion by Chip Keller,
Brian Culp will second.
Brian Culp. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries 7-0.
I do want to say on that Regional Sewer Board, Eric Acker has graciously given at no compensation as well as the rest of that board. I think about 13 years or some.
Yeah.
And with his expertise, knowledge and all, I'd like to see us do something for him. Whether it just even a letter of appreciation from the commissioners, and I know he's not our only board member that
Much
leads,
longevity.
but, you know, with his background and all, and the project that they saw through, I'd like to see some kind of recognition come from the commissioners on his service. I don't mean a statue or a monument or anything, but just, even a handwritten letter. Yeah, there you go.
Yes, that would be nice. Is,
Licensed engineer and all like he is. And now he's going to be your Morgan County Fair president.
Fair Board President, that's right.
Didn't know that, that's good.
Is there any other business that needs to come before the council this evening? Oh,
Good evening.
I got a birthday party to go to, so make it snappy.
It's going to be really, really quick. I just wanted to take the opportunity to come up here with good news and really not be asking for anything. I am on a plant a seed that I came across today, and I don't want to forget. Maybe we can help it grow, but we have been capitalizing as a county upon, I know at least one individual's continuing education in the world of finance, working on a master's in finance, and that's Josh Messmer. And I know he's paying for this outside. I think we as a county should look at some type of continuing ed, furthering your degree, whether that be an undergrad or a graduate degree. The things that he's learning, I'm making him apply to some of this financing and some of the bonds and some of the construction, along with his past engineering degrees. And so he wasn't hired as an engineer and he wasn't hired as the finance guy, but we are capitalizing on that. And I'm sure there's other situations. I just, there we go.
Cut
Yeah.
that, Mike.
Birthday. So when we look at benefits next year, maybe we can come with some type of stair step, not the whole thing, but assist, but then it has to be able to apply back where we can capitalize it, where the taxpayers get the benefit from our employee being better educated. It just hit me today, and I thought, boy, we ought to look at that. I want to thank you for the extra help to HR. I just came back from the commissioners conference this last week, was talking to commissioners that did not have HR, and they had had 2 sexual harassment claims just that week they didn't go into great detail, but you know, that's getting pushed onto their insurance carrier, that's getting pushed on its, you know, because I said, well, which one of you 3 commissioners are qualified to handle that? None. So again, thank you for allowing us to have an HR, to have an executive administrator to help when things are occurring at light speed. Another thing that I picked up real quick, and I'll leave you with this, I just feel it's my responsibility to come back to you since you're the funding mechanism of the whole county government. Great things are happening. It seems like we always get the phone calls when people are upset or complaining, but again, I got pulled aside, but how are you guys doing this? And boy, Morgan County's doing so, you know, and we need to be. And again, we waited so long to invest in ourselves, and I'm excited. It regenerates and makes me, the energy that I get from going to that makes me want to continue versus always getting beat up on this ditch is not clean enough or this tree fell or this snow removal. I mean, we always hear those. We get those phone calls, but you know, for outsiders to look in and see the great progress that we're making as a county, the 3 commissioners, all the employees couldn't do it with that if we weren't funded. So you are a great part of the team. Thank you for allowing me to be part of your team. And as a team, I think we'll continue to make great strides going forward. So thank you.
Brian?
I think those of us that attended AIC, we were proud to go to the round tables and be able to promote what we're doing because we are the leading edge on some of this. The water study, a lot of counties hadn't even heard of that. And here we're involved halfway through and other things that we're doing. We've got a lot to be proud about.
And locally, your constituents are noticing too. I received 2 calls just about something as simple as the county highway garage, that how much more professional it looks with the painting. I don't know who did that work, but it looks great. And I know we can't build anything up there, but you're sure doing a great job making it look better. And I commend you. Yes, sir?
I'm not going to miss a chance. I have to follow that gentleman. What all he said and what we felt, I've seen happen. You know, I was here probably years before it started. But we're being recognized, and I wanted to compliment and commend our current chairman of the commissioners, because he was selected to be the vice president of the West Central Commissioner District, which is at the council.
Yeah, good job.
We're being recognized as a leading county. And, you know, I have to say one thing, and I don't want to badmouth anybody, but I guess I'm going to. There's Johnson County, twice as big as we are, doesn't have an HR, doesn't have an administrator.
That surprises me.
And they're just stepping on their toes. I like what we're doing. A week ago tonight, we were over at the city council, and I saw that same cooperation between the city and the county. So it's a pleasure to serve. And I appreciate what we're doing, and I wouldn't be amiss to say Merry Christmas. I'll see you at some of these parties, but thank you all for what you're doing.
Thank you, Don.
You done?
All right, anyone else? Any other business? I did want to point out, we do have a second meeting in the month of December. It'll be the 18th, and, oh, yes. You don't want to miss that because it's, but we do meet before the commissioners that night, so our meeting will be at 5 p.m. on the 18th. And that one is, can be transfers only, no additionals. So that's always a good meeting.
I will say this construction crew was working Saturday out here
Yes,
when I
they
was
were.
across the street, and, well, I saw a cement truck out there today, and things seem to be going good.
Even in the cold weather, so yeah, that's great. All right, if nothing else, I look for a motion to adjourn.
I will make the motion to adjourn the meeting.
Brian
Thank you.
Koppel,
We have a
second.
motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
But don't run away. We've got signature
Oh, yeah,
documents.
we got to sign. I love it. Thank you so much.